Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
What's up, dog?
Shit, I can't hear you, Shep. Hold on a sec.
Hey guys.
Recording in progress.
What's up, dog?
Shit, I can't hear you, Shep. Hold on a sec. Somebody say something.
Can you hear me?
Son of a bitch.
Yes.
I guess not. Can you hear me?
Son of a bitch.
Yes.
Just a second, guys. It says that I can, it says I'm getting audio, but I'm not. How about now? Shep, Martin, I think you guys are on mute.
Yeah, I put mine on mute. Can you hear me
Dang it.
there?
I can't hear anything.
No volume?
Test. Chat, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, Martin.
Okay,
I
nice.
can hear you good.
Hey, Brad.
Sorry, guys. This was all figured out like 2 seconds ago. I don't know what happened. Yes. Yes, I can hear.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Okay, everybody, unmute yourselves. Let me see.
Oh, you can hear us?
Yes. Martin,
Got it.
what's up, dude? Yes, everything should be good. I'm recording on three different platforms, all of which apparently have audio. So we should be good. Brett, what's up, dude? Are you with us?
Yeah. What's up?
Nice. Dude, we got the dream team here right now. This is the meeting of the minds.
Sorry, I was jamming out to some drums a little bit.
Nice.
Trying to be patient.
Okay. We have the audio. Everything's cool. So, where to begin? We're here to talk about Fibs, right? And kind of the fresh perspective that some of us have been using since the last time that we met all together as a team. So, I think that last time we met... Oh, let me share my screen, sorry. And I'm going to make it so that...
Recording in progress.
I'm going to make it so that everyone can share. Okay. Can you guys see?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, so I think the last time that we met, we were really talking about Fib Pinball. Like this particular graph. And the main takeaways that I had from it was I don't even really care about most of this stuff. If I get this 1-2, then that's basically like all I'm looking for. And then I want everything to trade up to like the 1-6-1-8, and I kind of base it off of that. So for me, I'll just kind of walk through, well, a couple examples from yesterday, because yesterday was on fire. Let's see. So, and also like I'm keeping in the context of what the overall market is doing. That's why I'm trading ease right now, because like literally nothing in the market is going to do anything except for follow suit of ease right now, because SPY's kind of in like a tussy. It's not sure what it's doing. It's been in a channel. On the daily, we've been like at long-term support. Jesus Christ. On the daily, we've been at like long-term support now. And when I say, okay, medium-term support. So, and yesterday especially, we had this gap down. It kind of came right into this. So nobody really knows what SPY's doing. Is it going to bounce? Is it going to go lower? Are we going to get that 10% pullback into the 200? Blah, 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 blah. Nobody knows, right? So I'm not going to trade individual names when SPY and the overall market doesn't know what it's going to do. So for me, the closest to the source, the latest breaking news of what could happen on individual names is going to come from SPY, and more specifically ease, because I get the full context of what's been happening the entire time. Whereas if I turn the pre-market on in SPY, it's not the same as just seeing what's actually happening structurally on ease. So I've been trading the 1 minute chart on ease, and so basically I think I came into the market yesterday, and I think like I got to my computer like around here somewhere. So the first thing I did, like the way that I do Fibs is like I don't really care about anything unless it's like relevant. So like I'll look for like a clean count. So right here we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe, chops around, and then we get like another like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. Okay, so this should be like a 1, 2, and we should be putting in like a 3 all the way up to, what did I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2. I mean, this isn't that clean, but whatever. I can see 5 waves. So if anything, like this is my 1, 2. I now should be making like a big move up to here. So the fact that we didn't get that and we broke down, I'm now looking at it as like a downtrend. So, or like a downward structure. So now we have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty much perfect, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, this is what I traded. Is it? Yeah, this is actually what I traded. Okay. Sorry. So the way that I saw that was like, okay, like this should be a move up, and it's not. Like I doubt that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for me, I'm like, okay, this doesn't really make sense as like a clean, like 1, 2 for me, and it would need to trade. Oops. It would need to trade all the way like up into here for it to be like, for me to be like, okay, this is like a really strong structure that I believe in. And once I saw that it was pretty unlikely that it was going to do that, because it traded up to like here and then just kind of got wrecked and couldn't really do anything. When I started to see it trade down out of here, and I think Martin, you had this trend line set up yesterday too. So, oh, somebody just got a fill. I hope it wasn't me. I don't think it was.
That was me.
Nice. So when I'm suspicious of this structure, right? So I start to look for a new structure that's going to make sense. We get this trend line break, and the market, like the SPY's gapping down, everything's looking weak. I'm like, okay, we're going to make a new structure to the downside. So this is now becoming in my micro structure. If I'm creating a wave 1 down, then this will be my wave I of 1, it looks like to me. And the reason I'm confident taking it up here is because we just had this break of this trend line. So I can get in like this with a stop like here. 1, 2. And I'm golden. Like if this works, I'm golden to at least down here. At least. It should come to the 1618, but I always front run my target. So like, bro, that's 4R out of the gate. There's nothing really stopping it. This is just so clean. So the RR is just ridiculous in my opinion. So I put my stop like up here above this pivot, back up above this trend line. I got triggered in on like one of these candles, and then it trades all the way down to the 1618. And then it bounces. Come on. So that was pretty much beautiful. So now I'm looking at this. Okay, we traded. This is a beautiful 1-2, and it traded down to the 1-6-1-8. So now I'm confident that this is a solid, clean, beautiful structure. So I'm either gonna go like long off the 1-6-1-8 back up to the 1, which you could do, or I'm just gonna wait and see if we can put in a wave 5. So I'm gonna like look for it to trade back up here, and then give me another one of these. Give me another trend line that's creating like a nice, beautiful wave 4. And then play the break of the trend line just like this down into the 2.36 level. Let's see what happens. Okay. And that might be it. Let's see. Okay, so now I see this upper wick. I think Martin is also licking his chops when he sees that. So like it could be as easy as setting the trade up just like this. Break of this trend line down into the 200 level, 236 level. I mean, that's 2R right there. Okay, we're in. Come on, dude. Let's go. It's so easy. And then look what happens. Boom. And this is exactly what this is supposed to do. Literally the only levels that I care about. I base every single thing I do off the 1-6-1-8 and the 200. That's it. That's all I do. 1-6-1-8 and the 200. If I see a strong clean, so say this is like a strong clean structure, and it bounces at the 2-3-6 and puts in a wave 4, I go like this: 1-2, 1-2. So now my wave 5 should end at the 1-6-1-8. That's it. It's that easy. It's literally that easy. And if you want to feel froggy, if you feel like taking a chance and just catching price like I did today on ease, and just catching price, then you could easily just say, okay, like this is how I thought of the move on ease today. And I could have seen it yesterday, but I just was playing it to the short side. So like when you, it's not honestly that common for it to trade perfectly to the 1-6-1-8. It's really, in my experience, it's more common that it'll miss a level, it'll kind of come close. This is as clean as it gets. So when I see this immaculate wave 2 and it breaks down and trades all the way to the 1-6-1-8, I'm more inclined to just set up because it's so extended at this point. I'm fine with just setting an entry up here because it shouldn't really trade past the 1-6-4, and it should trade up to around the 1. So right away, that's 2R every time. If you catch it at the 1-6-1-8 with a stop below the 1-7-6-4, or vice versa, if it's bullish, it shouldn't come down here, especially if it just had this long, beautiful move. This is an impulse wave. It's beautiful. It traded right to the 1-6-1-8. So it should not go to the 1-7-6-4. It would be way too extended because then the wave 5 would have to come all the way down here, and that's all this stuff. So I'm kind of fine putting an entry there and just taking it up to the 1 where it should retrace. That's 2R right there every time. Same thing. Because it did exactly what it's supposed to do, traded to the 1-6-1-8, pulled back to the 1, put another entry right at the 2. Go long at the 2 again. Go long at the 2. It should not come past the 2-3-6. It could trade all the way back up to the 1.26, the 1, whatever. It's 2R. There it is. You're out. And then it's going to base here. And I think it starts to put in a new upward wave eventually. One of us played this yesterday. I think this.
So you're using, when you're using extensions, so I just use retracements. So when you're using extensions, you're pulling it off of waves.
100%. Mm-hmm. Yep. Have you seen
And
the
you're-
full
and you-
paintball, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at it, but I get that part of it, but I guess it's drawing the extensions, and I haven't really. It was 3 points of information instead of 2, off the retracements. So I just never screwed with it because the retracements seem to hit really well too.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yes.
So, Jerry, so there's fib projections and then there's fib retracements. So what Lance is talking about, this 3 point is the projection, right? I always consider that like the roadmap of where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then your retracements, which retrace a leg of a move, and you have extensions on that, which extend the leg of a move. That's
Right.
kind of how you're navigating the roadway, if you will. Right.
Yeah.
So that's just the difference between the two. You can use them both, use none of them. I mean, it's however you want.
I do not
Well,
use
so with
bumpers.
the extensions though, like you guys are way more used to using them than I am. Like I just didn't touch them because they looked Swahili to me, and so I just left them alone.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm asking you guys, teach me the language.
Yeah, dude, that's what we're doing here. It's gonna take a little bit of practice, but to make you feel better, it was Swahili to me until about a month ago, and now I'm pretty good at it, and it's not that hard.
So where specifically? So you're point A, point B, point C. Like where specifically are you grabbing it and sending it to?
Okay, so good question. So for me and Brett, Martin, anybody, feel free to jump in whenever. So for me, like I said, this was kind of a failed. Like I don't see this wave kind of trading up to the 1618, and so basically you start your one wave after a correction. So if you get it goes either direction. If you get a move down, the first move up out of that becomes your wave one. So you see how this is all the way down, and then boom, we get a move up. Now this, if I see nothing else, I'm like, okay, if we trade up out of here, so I go to the low, I go to the high, and then I come to the low of the pullback. So if we trade out of here and go up here, this will be the wave 3, and it should come to the 1618. So it's going to do one of two things. It's going to trade back down to here, which will invalidate this wave 1, or it's going to trade up to somewhere up here, and then it'll show me what it's going to do based on where it stops and where as soon as it stops and retraces, that's where. So say it trades up to the 1236. Okay, so say it does this. It bounces right here and it trades up here, and it doesn't really pull back or anything. It just kind of like trades up to here, right?
Sure.
Not like in a straight line, not like a blast. It doesn't really matter as long as it's not like pull back and then
as long as it's deep pullback. Right?
Yeah, you don't want a deep pullback. You can have little pivots and stuff, but it's got to be like a clean upward move, no deep pullback. So say it does that and it trades up to the 1236, and then I get like, I don't know, like an inverse hammer. Where's my little tool? I get like an inverse hammer. I get like a wick, or I get like some consolidation here. I'm like, okay, it should trade to the 1618 on a wave 3. So if it does give me a wick through the 1382, then I'll if it gives me a wick up in here, I count it as that level has been hit.
That's awesome. Right.
So I count one level down. 1618 should trade down to around here on a pullback, anywhere in here. So if it comes to the 1382, I'm like, okay, it should probably for sure hit the 1 and maybe come down into this little pocket. Let me use these instead. So it
because you're 3/4 and a 50% pullback, right? Of whatever the move is.
Yeah, I mean,
or up to it.
I'll be honest, I don't even think about it as 50%. I don't think about it like that. I just think about it as like it should come into the like this little zone or like this little zone. But you can think about it however you want. But that's how I think about it. So say we trade, we get this wick here. Like I said, I count back from this, and then if my 1618 should retrace to down here, I'm here, so I should trace down here. You just move it down a zone. Now, once it gets down here, I can either buy it here and put a stop down below the next zone and trade back up. So I'm going to trade up to if this comes down a level, then this should come down a level. So maybe it trades up to here for the wave 5. But more often than not, in my experience, if it stops short on the wave 3, it doesn't beautifully go up and make like usually I just try to set it somewhere around the wave 3, and I'll even take it early. Because wave 5s are usually, they're decent, but sometimes they're not that strong. So I kind of take what I can get on those because I didn't really catch the meat. Now, like I said, it's going to do one of those two things, right? It's going to either trade down and invalidate it, or it's going to trade up and tell me what to do. So let's see what happens.
But once it goes into the area 1, 2, it's invalidated, right?
Yeah. So basically, for me, and
that's way.
Brett sees it a little different than me. He would take it like, I think like almost even all the way like down here. For me, this is kind of getting a little close for me even. But so it's getting a little close for me. I want to see it make a wave 3 and then I'll play it. But I didn't do that today. I'll admit it. I took a deep pullback today, but that's because of the market context. But yeah, you could buy it. You could buy it down here and then catch the whole wave 3. That's what I almost did that today. I got wicked out by like 20 cents. But you could play it like this and try to play it all the way up there. Dude, it works. It worked today. Or you can just try to play it to a new high, whatever you want to do, and put a stop somewhere down here and try to catch it around here. And then, because if this wave structure works, the RR is ridiculous. So sure, play it.
Right.
It might only work a few times a week, but when it does, you make 5R each time. So I don't know. That's up to you. But my point is, it's going to do one of two things. It's going to invalidate or it's going to trade up. And if it trades up, then that makes the whole structure more reliable, in my opinion. And if it trades to the 1618, then it's a really strong structure, in my opinion. So let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, so it failed. It failed. So now all this means nothing to me. It's dead. I don't care about it anymore. That's how I do it. Martin and Brett might tell you something else. This is how I do it. This to me is dead. It no longer means anything. I don't care about it. All this is a failed move up and like a impartial move down. Like Brett or someone else might tell you, okay, now this is a 1-2 down, 3, 4, 5. For me, that could be the case, but knowing where SPY is, I don't really expect that. I don't really expect it. Now, if we're at all-time highs or something like that, and you get this like after an up move, absolutely. But like, there's not really a whole lot of meat left on the bone. We just had this move down, right? So I don't expect, because if that's the case, then now this becomes a 1 and like a 2 and then a 3. So like, I don't anticipate that. So for me, it's dead. I'm looking for a new wave 1 up, or I need this to show me it's going to be a wave 3 and then I'll play it lower or whatever. But as of right now, I'm not doing anything.
Cool.
Jeremy, have you watched the S-curve video?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's exactly what the 1-2 setup is. It's the first S-curve out of a pullback on whatever time frame you're looking at.
Okay, here we go. Now this is starting to become a new wave structure. Once I see some movement like this, I'm like, all right, now we're starting to see something. I think I might have played this yesterday. Can't remember.
The Slack channel, I missed that somehow.
It's on YouTube.
YouTube.
S curve, that's a Jeremy Newsom, isn't it?
Yep.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, that thing changed the way I look at charts forever. That was like 8 months ago or something.
Exactly. And if you incorporate that now, thinking that the 1-2 setup is just the first S curve out of a downtrend, then you'll start seeing them everywhere.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And I like these little consolidation periods too. So like, we're moving up out of this consolidation. It's telling me this is a new move. So I think I actually did play this yesterday, and I was watching it develop tick by tick, so I didn't just skip through it like this. But now when I see this looks to me now like a 1-2. Because here's your correction, and then it blasts up out of here. This looks like a 1-2. Oops. I do that all the time. So, yeah, I'm almost positive I played this yesterday, but let's see. So now I draw my 1-2. Boop. 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 So I'm trying to trade up into, I'm going to see if it trades up into here. If it trades up into here, for me, that this is a strong wave, I'll try to play it down here and catch a wave 5 and maybe even short it up here depending on the candles I get. Let's see. Yeah, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 6. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So now we could trade. You could easily take something like this up into like the 1618 or higher. I don't think that I would, but one could. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, because we traded down here. It's 2 levels. So 1, 2. You could take it that way. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you got beat on that one, it looks like. So for me, this is still looking like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is still looking like a 4 wave now. But I'm not gonna probably play it long because it's only gonna move up to here, and the range of this is already too big, so the RR is not really that good. But there it goes. Yeah, so it traded up to the 1618 out of a 4 wave. Now, again, you could easily set up a short trade, something like this. Because you anticipate a move up into here. And then trade back down into here somewhere. But wait and see what the candles give you. Yeah, okay. So that's just a powerful move. So now it's 1, 2. Now I might count it like this, 1, 2, 3. That's starting to make more sense now structurally. So 1, 2. Now this is starting to make more sense. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it looks like it's failing. So there's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like. And this is how I do it. I just constantly update my count based on like what the chart is showing me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, kind of a weak move, but it's not that clean. So now that this wave count wasn't really that clean and I'm not sure what's happening, I just wait and see what happens up out of here. Because now this could be your, now this might be your 1, 2, or maybe we start to make a, Jesus, or maybe we start to make a new wave down. But I don't know what's gonna happen, so now I'm waiting patiently. But are you seeing how I'm kind of like updating this like as I go, and what becomes relevant is what I start to look at?
Yep.
Brett, would you add anything so far?
No, so far so good.
Nice. Okay. So
What do you guys change anything as far as what your extension lines are on the setup? You get rid of any of the noise, or do you leave them all on there?
yes. So that's a great question because mine looked different than Brett's at first. And I was like, bro, I don't have these. I don't understand. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of the settings and put them into Slack. Damn you, Zoom. Okay. So those should be in there now. It'll start to make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. This might even be it might even be like this. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm actually starting to look at it like this. So 1, 2, 3 levels down. 1, 2, 3 levels down. So now I'm actually anticipating some kind of move up to this 1382 level, and then we'll see. This is now starting to look like a wave 4. And like I said, dude, it's whatever looks the cleanest. That's how I start to look at it. Does this make sense? How this looks like a cleaner 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm starting to look at it like that. So now I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna look and see what happens. If it trades up to here, that would make perfect sense as a wave 5 structurally. Just based on the size of this 1, 2, 3. If it trades up here, that just makes sense. It just looks better. And there it goes. And then we get an inverse hammer right where we said we should go. So yeah, one could easily short it with the same kind of thought process. And we're having volume come in. So one could easily set up a trade, put this up above the 1618, take it down somewhere into here. Yeah, it just kept going. Kept going. Now we're up at the 1764. So yeah, now I basically have no idea what's happening. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just gonna be patient and wait. And I don't think I took any of these trades yesterday. I think I might have been in this one.
So you're basically you're paying less attention, not no attention, but just less attention to the actual moving averages.
Yeah, I mean, structure comes first.
Right.
For me, structure comes first. So the moving averages, I mean, let's see. Moving averages is just lagging indicators. Like if the structure is telling me it's going to go lower
That's
or higher.
yeah. I mean, I got, and that's what, I mean, I've hit a streak like the Bad News Bears lately, and I've been trying to pay attention to the moving averages.
Well, dude, to your point, instead of me trying to set up a short here, if this is now starting to look like a 1, 2, 3, then I can just do this same thing that we did on the first trade of the day. I can say, okay, here's this little like channel type deal. This could be my wave 4. So if we get a breakout up above this, I could take it something like this, and then trade up to the wave 5, which is where we projected it would be. And then I get this up at the wave 5, and now I'm in a position where I can trail my stop below this inverse hammer. And if there is more of an upside, I capture all of it. So to your point, that's probably the better trade. And when I say probably, I mean that's the better trade.
Well, but structure came first as to what the waves look like. I think just start back trading purely based on the structure rather than having the EMAs and stuff turned on and then draw the fibs and then bring in the EMAs. I don't know. I've got to reassess something.
Well, another thing I think you're doing too, Shep, is you're drawing fibs all over the goddamn place. You'll have fibs on the daily, and then you'll come in and do fibs on the 15.
Like that's another
I don't do that. I don't care. And
I guess you
just
go to the chart you're going to be trading off of would seem to make sense, or the chart, the 1 minute makes sense because you get more candles, you get more data. I don't know, and like Jeremy was saying, the 10 EMA, I love that strategy. It's shit on me for the last 2 weeks on the trades I take, and then the trades that I don't take, it goes well. So I guess it's unbelievable. And I was thinking, well, what's the most up to speed, up to minute information you can get? And it's just the way the candles form as they come in with the moving. So paying more attention to structure, and then I'd get confused as to, all right, well, what time frame should I be on? Is it the 1 minute? Is it the 3 minute? Is it the 5 minute? Does it matter? Is it the daily? Is it what you're trading off of? And just start. Just then you start spinning your wheels, and you might as well just take a dart and throw it at the wall.
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of got to.
I would say I would throw in on that. Pick one and stay on it.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I've been on the 5, but it seems like I have a hard time drawing the wave count on the 5. How far back do you go? Do you go back a week? Do you go back 2 days?
They're not as clean. Well, it's the same concept though, Shep. You just whatever's relevant. Don't worry about this shit. Whatever's relevant is what you trade. So like we just saw how this structure became invalidated. So now I don't give a shit about any of this. I wanted my 1, 2. Now I get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This wave 5 just went too far. But 1, 2, that's actually a beautiful count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. we should be getting like a pullback. And it's up here at resistance. I don't even really look at that. It's just confluence. But now this is a beautiful structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if
So
you
you're
see,
looking for that, yeah, formation.
the only thing that would have thrown me off playing this trade right here is because this looked like a 1-2 potentially. And
I
then
see
the
that.
3. So now that, but when, like I said, when you get more data, now it's obvious that this is the 1-2. Before
So do
it
you
looked
draw
like
your
1, 2, 3.
fibs? Would you draw your fibs off the 1 minute and play the 5 minute?
No. Why? Here's the trade on.
Well,
everything
like
you
you
took
said, it's
today.
cleaner. Just to get a cleaner, what's going to give you the cleanest picture, you know?
In my opinion, how much more clean do you want than this?
Well, then that's a 1 minute chart. Yeah. So you're better off trading off the 1 minute chart.
How much more clean? Where's that trade?
Oh, that's clean as
Where's that trade?
Jeremy
I
looks like
took
he's
the other
bald.
day?
That's clean as Jeremy's head right there, man.
Yeah, which one was it? Is it this one? Yeah. How?
I need to get back to that. I used to have my head shaved. I need to get back to that shit.
Where the hell?
I'm just embracing the baldness, man. I finally
Hey,
got.
embrace it, bro. I mean, you know, look at me. I need to embrace it. I got a little island right here. You know, what am I trying to hold on to? You know,
That's funny.
Yeah, right there. How much more clean do you want it, bro?
I know that, but I guess that's my point. That's my question. If the 1 minute's given the cleaner picture, why would you not trade off the 1 minute?
Good question. I don't have an answer for you.
I don't trade off the 1
There it
minute
is.
because there's too much for me. There's too much noise. A 2 or a 3 minute to me is cleaner.
I
But
used
that's
to
all-
I'm
agree.
totally like
That's
I've been
all.
on the 5 minute and been getting my ass handed to me, you know. So it's not that I'm abandoning ship, but I'm trying to figure out how do I get better? What's there's got to be a better.
Just hop on a 10-second chart, bro.
Shit.
Dude, those are too much.
That was the first shit I learned from Farmer. What's Cameron, Ross Cameron. That was the first thing I got into. But his saying was buy high and sell higher.
Brett, I think Brett said that a time or
My
two.
problem is I'm buying high and selling low and buying, and buying low and selling lower,
Welcome to the club.
Fuck.
Well, dude, so another thing too that I'll say about current market conditions. The 5 minute, like we're kind of chopping around a little bit. Things aren't really moving that cleanly. So look at this. Patterns aren't really working on the 5. But like, let's see. Let's find a couple flags.
Yeah, and like I look at those charts you put on the Slack, and I'm like, man, that's a clean
Look at this.
looking structure, and it's on the 1 minute, and then
Sorry, dude.
No worries. Hold on. I'm going to turn my video off
Okay.
for a sec.
AMD, perfect example right now.
Dude, I back traded that the other night. Probably 3 hours. And 20 back trades on AMD. All right. On the 3-minute chart, I made over 10 R's. And I go live with it. And riding a 5-game losing streak. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like, what the hell, man?
That
I mean,
sucks.
it's incredible.
Yeah, dude. Well,
My back, and that's another thing I'm curious about. Like, my back trading has been successful, and I don't know if I just shit my pants when the market goes live and freak out and take bad trades, but my live trading has been the last 2.5 weeks below 40%, down probably 5 R's.
dang.
Just a travesty.
Dang,
And I don't know why.
That sucks.
You know,
Here's one thing I've come to notice about my back trading. My back trading, I've had the same thing happen, and I think why is because I don't have the full context of what's going on in the market. So like when I'm trading and I'm aware of what's happening with SPY and the overall market, I'm much more like, I'll show you the example today on East. Can you see my screen?
yeah.
So this morning I took this trade on East. I took this trade on East. Look at it.
That's sick.
Bro, come
The
on.
14R trade.
That is banana sandwich.
14R move,
Guess
dude.
what? I got stopped out by 25 cents before it went. And I made a mistake. I should have put my stop down here, but instead I put it at break even. I got triggered in on this candle. So this candle comes in, we get this move up. I'm like, all right, it just moved up all the way here. I'm not losing money on this trade. I put it at break even. I got stopped out by 25 cents. And then I missed this whole fucking move.
It's insane.
Yeah. I feel like
It's insane.
Brett, hold on.
Well, I need to reassess and figure out something, man, because I just don't know what I don't know, you know.
Hold on a sec. I interrupted myself to look and see because I invited everybody else and I wanted to see if I could let them in. But I was saying full market context. So the reason that I felt comfortable taking this trade was because E's already kind of traded up, and I was like, okay, there's some strength here. It looked like it was going to trade down, and then it ripped up out of here with volume. So when I saw this candle come in on E's, and this was kind of a hybrid of the continuation, and I used Fibs for where should my target be. So when I saw this thing rip up out of here, I'm like, okay, none of this shit matters. Here's the move. This is the move of the day. This is what the sentiment is today. It blasted through all this shit, rampaged, and now I'm like, okay, I wouldn't have bought this in the past. I would have been like, oh my God, it failed. It's going to go to 0. And it's going to get down here. Now, the difference was today, I was like, okay, now I've been using Fibs. So I'll just set something up here, and I'll combine what I know about volume and candles and support and resistance, and I'll combine that with Fibs. So I'm gonna see where this thing trades down to. I'm gonna buy it as low as I can. Use this volume and this wick and this support as my support. I did not get in on that candle. I got in on that. I actually bought it even down here. And I was like, okay, now if this trades up out of here, this should be my 1-2. So I went like this. 1, 2. And I was like, damn, that would be a hell of a move up to the 1-6-1-8. I don't think it's gonna do that. But if I can get 3 R's just to up here, that's awesome. And I'll hold and see what happens. And then if it looks like it's gonna trade up here, then I'll hold it. That's 5 R's.
So are you marketing in on those orders, or are you setting the entry
I'm
in advance?
I'm not marketing in, but like, yeah, I took this with 2. I took another trade with 2 MES contracts earlier. I'm not marketing in, but like, for example, like as the candle's like forming, I'm like, okay, if I want it to come down here, and then I'll set an order at 45.80. So like it's as the candle forms, and sometimes I miss it, but like as this thing's breaking down, I'm like, okay, like here, I'll show you how I took it today. Like this candle broke down, and I was like, as this candle was forming, I was like, okay, I want to get it as low as possible, but I'm not going to mark it in. So as it's forming, I was like 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, and obviously it was closer because price was right there. So I was like, okay, 45, 45, and then see how the little lines on there? See how I can see how the line moves? You see that in the middle of the screen?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that, and now I'm not looking at on the right anymore. I'm not looking at active trader. I'm just looking here, and then as the candle's moving, I'll put it there.
Damn, I need to learn how to do that on TOS, man.
This is the active trader. So yeah, then you can just you don't have to look over here. You're on the bid. You know you want to buy it, so you just leave it here, and as the candle forms, you can just put it on. Because what you avoid, what gets messed up when you mark it in is sometimes you just get a shit fill.
Yeah.
It's probably not so bad on Ease and MES because there's so much liquidity, but like I just got in the habit of doing it that way.
So do you have that limit buy? How do you set that up with the quantity that you want to just click the button there on TOS?
So I'll calculate so like for instance, my entry was actually like up here.
Right.
Like I set it up here first, but then I so I do my math. I'm like, okay, like I'll buy a couple of contracts here. And then if it keeps going lower, I'll keep my stop and everything the same. I don't increase my size. Now I have a better entry and my risk is automatically like lower. So my stop was like up here, but I see the candle like pooping and I'm like, all right, let me see if I can get a little lower. And I'm just like working that little bit a little bit or working.
So you'll keep the same stop regardless.
Yeah. I don't increase. Now, once I get filled, I'll move it to where I actually got filled and then I'll just play it like that. And like, I'll play it like that. Like I got filled there and I just adjust everything from there. I'll leave the stop exactly where it is. So automatically I'm not going to lose a full R automatically because I got a better fill and I'm leaving my stop the same. And my upside is like automatically better. So I'll just.
All right. So say that to me again. If you get filled, say you're filled right there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you're not going to lose a full R if it hits your stop?
My initial entry was here. So I'm leaving it here, but I'm actually getting filled down here. So then once I'm filled, if I'm going to lose a full, like if I were to move this whole bracket. So if I get filled here, now in order to lose 1 R, my stop can actually be all the way down here.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But my stop was here originally, and I'm not going to move that. I'm not going to move my stop down here because I still believe if price gets down here, it's not going to work. Does that make sense?
So if you get filled, all right. So what you do then is you've set your stop. Go back to your original stop. It was this red line, right? This red line right here. See where my yellow line is?
Yes.
All right. So if the candle comes, say, like right here, you're like, all right, I'll get in lower right there, but you leave your stop the same. So if it keeps going lower and stops you out, you end up losing less than an R anyway, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now you'll just adjust your entry bar to here to see what the upward move could potentially be.
Yep. And you could increase your size if you want to. Like when it starts getting down here, you can just go on the active trader and like as it's coming down, just click up, just keep clicking up. Click up as much as you want. Click up a contract, click up 2 contracts, whatever it is. And then buy it. And then now your risk is actually a full R in the same spot, but you have more size on.
Okay. Well, I've got to get back into the profitable mode, man. I've lost it. I don't know how. It's just, my fib counts, I think, my waves, I'm not doing a good job with that. Maybe I need to go try the 1 minute or the 3 minute,
Yeah, man. And the other thing with the 1 minute chart is patterns work, bro. It's crazy. Like when you see like look at this little flag. That shit's not working on a 5 minute. Let's see. So if I take this flag breakout right here. So let's 1, 2 maybe. Or sorry, wrong tool. So maybe something like this. 1, 2. Let's do it like this. Okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm like, all right, it's not going to go up to the 1618. I would need a bigger 2. But let me just get some kind of idea of where it could go. Okay, maybe this. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'll take it up to the 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're just
immediately switch that from a 1, 2 to a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and now it's in wave 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I've got this little perfect little flag, and I can just set this up like this, and take it up.
Hell, that's a 2R or 1.5 R
6, 7.
trade right there, man.
And keep in mind, like this should pop, so I'm not just gonna automatically take it necessarily. I'm gonna see what. That's the other thing about the 1 minute is you can really interpret the candles and not have to worry about it hitting your stuff because every candle that comes in is telling. Like on the 5 minute candles, 5 1 minute candles. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5 minute candle right here. But on a
go to the 5 minute chart.
Okay.
Go to the 5 minute chart and see what that looks like.
Yeah. So the candle's complete because it's a
totally different read though.
Because
that's an inverted hammer. I'm saying, man, that shit. I'm not getting in long there.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, now with the qualifier that like, so this is what it really looks like, because hold on. Because once I switched to the 5, it showed the completed candle. So this is more fair. Hold on, fucking thing. Okay, so this is more fair. So this is what it looks like. So on the 5 minute chart, it looks like this. And you're right, it's an inverted hammer, right? But when I go to the 1 minute chart,
I'm like, oh, okay, there's a pullback. I'll go long on that. That's the red candle above the 10,
And then you start to get this little flag, and you're like,
oh yeah, there's another hammer, and then bam,
hits your target in one candle. Now, Siri, god damn it. Now you can hold this trade, and you could either take it all right here because it hit the 200 level, which was exactly your target with a wick. So you could trail it like this, and say, okay, it hit my target. This is a beautiful move. I'll just take it. Or you could say I'm going to manage it, and it's at resistance. Or you can say, okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the fact that it's a 5, you should probably be like, okay, it hit my target. But you can manage it. So let's see. Okay. Boom. That's more. Now I'd probably get out. now
I'm out. Inverted hammer at the top. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, but even still, try your stop to here and see what happens. Okay, I'm still in.
I'm still in it. Still in it. I'm out.
Now you're just really mad.
I'm out, and that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah, but who cares? You already made.
I know. At that point, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
you
who cares?
you break into 1.5 bars. I just remember a while back you were like, Shep, don't even try trading the 1 minute. So I hadn't even really looked at it. You know what I mean? And I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying I hadn't even looked at it until you started posting those charts, and I'm like, dang,
bro, I wasn't looking at it either.
That looks really clean.
Because
that looks really clean.
I know, dude, and that's why I started. I was like, you know what, dude? It's been a while. Let me go play these. I want to see what all these penny stock traders are doing on the 1 minute chart. I want to see how are they? I want to see, because I remember when I first started, I didn't really understand things the way that I do now. Like, and they were making all this money, and I didn't understand what they were doing. But now that I'm like, I've been a pro trader for like a year, like, dude, there's nothing that happens in the market. There's nothing structurally that happens that I don't understand 100%. There's no pattern that doesn't make sense to me. I understand everything. So, and I have not just, I fundamentally understand everything that happens in the market. I might not be able to predict it, but I understand how to interpret it. So I was like, let me go back to this 1 minute chart. Let me just play around. So before I used to go, and I think I made another video of this, but before I would go to this, damn it. Before I'd go to, I would go on a scanner, and I would, so let's see, go back to, so I'd go on a scanner, and I'd make a list of all these tickers, and I would try to go back and forth between all of them in the first 1 minute of open. And like, this was before I knew how to trade. This was before I knew what any of this shit meant. And I would just be like, okay, like, I'm gonna blah, 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 blah. And I was just getting hosed all the time, because I'm like, either I would miss the move and then I'd try to chase it, because I'm trying to manage all of these in a 1 minute chart. It was too much. But then I came back to it, and I looked at the scanner again as like 2-3 weeks ago, and was like, holy shit, this is so obvious now. It's got an 8 million share float, and there's 3.4. So there's almost half the total shares that exist are being traded in the pre-market. This is the only one on this particular scanner today that I would trade because of that. But some days you have 3 or 4 of these. Some days you have an 8 million share float with 16 million shares traded in the pre-market. So just right away, I was able to be like, okay, now I can take this list and I can narrow it down to 1 or 2 or 3 tickers, and then I can take it a step farther. So not only do I narrow it down to 1, 2, or 3 tickers, because now I understand volume versus now I understand volume versus float, and like, this isn't something I went out to try. Like, this is just shit I picked up in the year I hadn't traded pennies. So now, oh, that scanner's still on, which is going to annoy me. So now I was like, okay, let me just back trade only the tickers that make sense to me in the pre-market, and then I'll narrow it down based on the pre-market structure to the ones that I'm actually going to trade. So today, the only one I would have touched was APM, because that's the only one with the volume to shares float ratio that makes sense to me. So I would go in here, and I would go to the pre-market. What day is today? Where are we? Why are we in December? Damn it. What's happening here?
It's a good question.
Okay,
Don't ask me.
Here we go.
The 20th.
Here we go. Oh, I don't have pre-market on. Why? Okay, so I'd go here. 20th. All right. And now I'm looking at what this pre-market looks like. Oh, shit. Because now I understand patterns. Now I understand support and resistance. So now I can, so just imagine there's 3 of these tickers, and I can go in here and do the same analysis on all 3 of them. So what I'm seeing in the pre-market is, okay, we've made a move up. I would look at the daily, but I'm not going to right now because it'll fuck the chart up. So, or would it? No, it wouldn't. Okay. So, okay, where are we gapping to? Where did we gap? Where's the gap high? We're basically there. So pre-market high is here. I go out to the daily chart. I'm like, okay, damn, we gapped up here. So if we blast out of here, where are we going to trade up to? I don't know, probably something like this. Makes sense, right? It makes sense. Maybe we'll trade up to here. I'll be a little conservative. So I go back to the 1 minute chart and I'm saying, okay, this is the area that I now have. Where's my VWAP? Okay, let me turn VWAP on real quick. No, I'm not even gonna do it. I don't give a shit. VWAP's probably somewhere like here. So, okay. So now I'm looking, okay, there's compression in this pre-market. Let's see what's gonna happen. So but first I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, this is something that I might play. But I'm still not like just gonna set an entry up like here and just take it. But let me see what happens. Okay, there's the first 930 candle. It's an inverted hammer with bare volume. So let's just say I want to take it something like this. Which I'm not saying I would take this trade, but let me let's just see what happens.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not in. Okay, I'd take it off now. Now I don't want to be in it. But now look at how this little flag's starting to form here.
Yep.
So maybe I take it now and I'm like, okay, I want to take it like this. And I would have missed it, obviously. But if I'm paying attention closely, I'm like, okay, it dipped. It probably reclaimed VWAP, and now it's putting in this little flag. So I might take it like this now and take it up to pre-market high. I'm in. Okay, I don't want to be in this anymore because I want it to pop. So I would have probably, if once this didn't work, I'd have probably got out down here because this flag should pop.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you get stopped out. So I wouldn't have wanted to be in it anymore after this. But my point is, I started back trading these 1 minute charts, and I started to notice, holy shit, dude. Patterns on the 1 minute chart actually work. I don't know, 5 or 10 flags. Like, dude, I haven't even been playing patterns on the 5 minute chart because they just don't even show up. Like,
well, I don't even know what I'm doing lately. Like, it's so fucking crazy, man. The last 2 days, if I'd have stayed in that trade yesterday, I got out for a minus 0.4 R, and it went on to hit my target at 1.8 Rs.
let's go look at it. What was the ticker?
All right, let me see. AMD. I'll pull it up on my screen. Let me see. Actually, I think I was so disgusted. I don't even know if okay, yeah, here it is. No, wait.
Oh, wait.
Oh, crap. I didn't save the chart. Let's see.
There.
I think I was on the 3 minute chart. It was yesterday. I didn't save do you have it pulled up?
I'm about to. Okay. Hold on. Sorry, I was fixing something.
I'll have to go in and look. I'm not sure because I didn't save it. Oh.
What was it on the 3 minute?
It was on the 19th. Yeah. On the 3 minute, on the 19th. Let me see here. I got in at my entry price. I shorted it was 130.37. I'm setting it up on my screen because like I said, I didn't 130.37. 130. 137.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Long or short?
short. 130.37 was the entry. All right. What did I? Let me see if I can find the actual trade. I'll have to go back into Ameritrade to see the actual record of the trade. I can't. I ended up getting out at. Hold on. Look at my backlog here. How do you even find that? Where's the past overview count
Oh, yeah.
transactions? There it is.
Monitor account statement. How I always.
Let's see, where was it? AMD, it was at sold short. Oh, those are just the transactions. Where do you
watch.
find
Watch this.
orders?
You looking at my screen?
Yeah.
Monitor account statement.
Okay. Are those all the orders that you placed?
Yep. The show AMD.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, man. I need to get on this TOS. I need to get better at TOS, man.
Oh, I don't have. That's why I was like, why the hell don't I have any AMD? Or why don't I have a trade from AMD yesterday? And I was like, oh, it wasn't.
Yeah. She didn't make one. Well, the gist is, let me see if I can. Yeah.
Oh, but you know what, dude? You should be saving all these screenshots every day. Every day you should come up here. Every trade you make, you should do this. Copy link to chart image and then post it. Everyone.
You talking about? Well, I saved the chart link 95% of the time. I was so pissed off yesterday I didn't. But no, yes, you are correct. Most of the time, absolutely, I do that. All right, let's see. Monitor statements. AMD. Order history. Oh, that's for today. Let's see, go back 7 days from today. All right. Okay, here it is. So let's see. This would have been yesterday. Sell to open at 130.37.
Let's open at 130.37.
That was where I placed it. All right, I need to get it.
Well, screw it. You could just look at the chart. You'll be able to remember it.
All right. And then excuse me. Yeah, I'll remember it. Hold on. Does I remember where my target was? 130. And I had it down here at 1.8. Oh shit, man! I can't remember what I did with it. I can't remember. I'm sitting here looking at it, and I can't remember when I got in. Oh, okay. Here's where it was. Let me move this over here. I think it was like right. Well, I don't know. I didn't save the chart, so I don't want to waste time trying to figure it out. But point being, I got out of it, and then it ends up going to my target. I guess my point is, it's like everything I'm doing right now is the wrong move or the wrong trade. Like yesterday, I went back and I mean, I lost 1.5 hours yesterday. I set up 2 or 3 different trades. Two of them that I did not end up placing hit, and the one that I placed didn't hit, and I've lost confidence, man. So I need to I'm reassessing, and my fibs, I'm all over the place on that. I don't know. I'm not confident in what time frame. I need to simplify, the 5 minute, like I'm looking at your charts on the 1 minute and I'm trading off the 5 minute, and it just doesn't make sense anymore to me. I'm not seeing patterns or anything form. I mean, it's just a shit show with my trading right now, which is crazy, man, because the first 6 days of January, um, I mean, I'm up 4 hours. The last 2 weeks, I'm down 6 hours.
Oh, the first 6 days of January, you said?
Yes. I was up 3.9 hours. And I mean, it was, in my mind, I thought I was doing the same things I've been doing, like here's the first trade I took in January. It was Tesla long, for, almost 2 hours.
Well, what I'll say is drop your R.
So
First and
I
foremost, drop your R a shitload. Just drop it. $10, $25, just drop the R. Drop it. Second thing I'll say is when shit doesn't always work. Like I stopped using the continuation strategy pretty quickly. I mean, it's still in my head. It's not like I just do that like today at my trade on ease, I used that. It was confluence. But my target and the structure I was based off like Fibs. But like I showed you the trade. It was I'll show you again real quick. Conceptually, it was the same goddamn thing. It was a continuation, but it wasn't really a continuation because it was more of a reversal. But conceptually, it's the same thing. We had huge volume piercing this level of old resistance, new support. I can use this volume as support now. I can use this volume as protection. I know that SPY really shouldn't go any lower on the daily because it was already like down here. So, and the fact that Ease already had traded up some, it was making kind of a hammer. So I was like, all right, it's more likely that this thing trades up because it's already at support. So like, once I get this strong move up out of here, like that's a strong move. That is a strong move with a shitload of volume. That's telling me that this could get taken out and we will rampage lower and I'll have a short entry for sure. But if it goes higher, then I have a huge upside too. So that's why I got in with the continuation strategy. It wasn't really continuation. It was, this is volume. It should go higher. But it's conceptually the same. You understand how it's conceptually the same?
Yes.
So it just fell into my lap and I used it. But if I were just constantly doing that, like especially on the 5 minute, because everything's been so choppy, on the 1 minute, it's just a lot more powerful because on the 1 minute, this move probably looks like nothing on a 5 minute. Let me see. Yeah, on a 5-minute, that looks like I wouldn't go long into that with the continuation strategy.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
like I said, look at this upper wick with all this volume.
Yep.
I might even, if I'm playing the continuation strategy, I might short it like this.
Yep. Yep.
Now, one thing you do see on the 5-minute a little bit more clear is kind of this, trend line. So maybe maybe if I'm playing the 5-minute, maybe I'm like, all right, well, I want it to break below here, and then I'll use this.
Right. Yeah. Below the lines, below the trends. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yep.
when you go to the 1-minute chart, you're like, damn. Now
That's
it's a
yeah.
beautiful, like, yeah, it's an inverse hammer on the 5, but if this thing busts up out of here, it's gonna work.
What like another thing, I don't know, kind of like pre-market or when I'm looking at tickers, I don't know if I just need to go back to one or two or three of them, or if I need to change what I'm looking for, what I'm looking at. I think I'm going to go and try the 1-minute chart and just looking for structures, looking for waves that have formed like you were doing, and utilizing those tickers to trade off of rather than what I've been doing, which is, looking at EMAs and is it compress, is there compression and, that's kind of been my primary, information that I'm looking at, but I just feel like sometimes I'm too scattered and not focused enough. I don't know. I'm just questioning what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm in a
100%,
losing
dude.
streak.
I got crushed the last month. I just got fucked. Like, I was getting crushed.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And dude, I had just increased my R. So like I increased my
Yeah.
R and just was getting fucked. Like bad. So I was like, okay, the market is clearly like the only reason I increased my R is because what I was doing was working so consistently.
Was working. Right. Yep.
And so
Yep.
as soon as I did it, literally it worked for 2 or 3 days and then everything stopped working. Everything.
Yep.
So I was
Well,
like,
you look at my P&L. That's exactly right. The first 6 days of January, bam, 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 bam. The last 2 weeks, hardly anything. So yeah, and even when I was coaching, when we go through a losing skid, it was always like, all right, let's sit back and read. Obviously, what we're doing is not working, or maybe it is, and we're just not lucky. But usually there was something we could tweak, and I guess that's what I'm looking for. The more you started posting those 1-minute charts, I'd be like, dang, I see. I mean, that looks clean, man. I see that wave. It's 1 minute, and it makes sense. It's 1 minute. There's more data. The moving averages, I would utilize 10 EMA. Maybe I was just picking the wrong ones, but like today, I get trapped and I've stopped out for an R. But I'm on the 5-minute.
that trade definitely could have worked.
So the EMAs are lagging indicators. With the 1-minute chart, you got real-time candles and you got more of them. There's more data, so I guess I want to. And then I just wanted to see how you were drawing those fibs. And because I tend to overthink it. All right, do you go back 3 days or 2 days or the day before? Do you draw it on the daily and then the 15-minute and then the 30, or do you just go find the structure and see what makes sense based on the patterns, the structure of the waves? And that's basically what you're doing.
For me, dude, like I don't even really I don't know. I don't even really look. Like it just jumps out at me. It's just obvious. And if it's not obvious, I just click to the next chart. And if it's obvious there, I'm like, okay, this is obvious. Like yesterday, ease was obvious to me. I did this count and I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this should work. Blah 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 blah. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be a wave 1. But then it doesn't pull back to give me a wave 2. It just kind of keeps going. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this isn't gonna trade up here. It's just probably not. Remember how I showed it at the beginning of
Yeah.
like this?
Yeah.
This was obvious. That was obvious. I wasn't even
Yeah.
watching this. I just clicked over to the chart and was because this is all post. Is this post market? No, this is pre market. Yeah, so this is technically all pre market, and this is what happened. So by the time I get to my computer, I'm like, I think where was I? I was over here. So I come to my computer and I see first thing I do is like, okay, what did ease do in the pre market? Like, what am I looking at today? And it looked like, okay, we had this strong move. Is it going to go any higher? How do I know if it's going to go higher? I look at the structure. 1, 2, 3. Wait, no, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah. Yeah.
5. A, B, C, or whatever. Or like, however you want to count this. So then I'm like, okay. 1, 2. Is it going to make a 3? Oops. Probably fucking not. Because that would be a huge move. 1, 2. Probably fucking not.
Yeah.
But maybe. We'll see. But if it does, it's going to like... It's going to give me a whole new 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to, it's going to do something. And maybe this is I just take for granted for how much I just recognize what the charts are supposed to fucking look like and like stuff like that. But once I know that this isn't going to happen, then I start to see, okay, well, what is going to happen? I react to what I see. And what I see, let's see. This happened in the morning. I played this. I played this first. I didn't get stopped out. Like this. So I played this first. It traded up. I was like, cool. Then it chopped around and shit. And I was like, okay, well, I already made some money. And then once this broke, it's just luck. I just happened to be looking at it. It was like, damn, that broke. So now this is a 1. And then this pulled back. So I'm like, okay, well, this is a 2, obviously. So if this is a 2, 1, 2. It's that clean. It should trade down here.
Yeah.
So if it breaks this, because now look, the upward momentum is done. So if it breaks this, it's gonna make its own structure. And it did.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to start, man. I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm going to back trade a lot this weekend. I'm going to get on the 1 minute chart.
Oh, here's another piece of advice, dude. And this is something I just started doing. I only back trade that day. I only back trade the current day after the market closes. Or even during the market. Like if I'm done trading, I'll just like go back. I'll look at what happened on other tickers throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, I'll only back trade that day. And I'll use that. And this isn't how I've always done it, Shep. I know I've told you a lot of shit in the past. I don't do a lot of it anymore. I've adapted. I've changed because what I was doing wasn't working. So this is what I do now. This is what I've found to be effective now. I need to understand what ease is doing. Because ease isn't just in a trend anymore that you can just rely on. Ease is, and now ease is in a channel. So SPY is in a channel. For me now, SPY used to have precedent over ease. Now it's not the same for me anymore. I think of ease as having the precedence over SPY. Because ease is a continuous stream of what's happening with the market. SPY has these gaps and it's the same shit, but like this is as close to the source as you can possibly get it. And then as close to the source as you could possibly get it is on the 1. So I'm literally reacting to exactly what the market is doing every minute of the day.
Well, that's what I've learned, man. If there's one thing that you continually have to be ready to adapt and adjust to, it's day trading.
Yep.
So I get it. If you're not doing, it's like, that's why I'm sitting here thinking, man, all right, I've lost. And you're right. I still haven't lost any money since I started trading, but I'm on a terrible losing streak right now. I've lost all of my gains. You know what I mean? I'm almost back to break even. So, all right. How am I going to adjust now? And I haven't been doing it long enough to have different things to fall back on. So, that's why when you were just looking at that 1 minute chart and those fibs, all right, how's he drawing this? You're right. I've got shit all over the place. I've got a fib here and a fib there, and on this time frame and that time frame, and 3 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute, 15 minute,
It's just telling
compression.
you too much shit. They all tell you something different.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, man, I got to run. I'm getting blown up by bankers.
Okay, bro.
This has been very helpful, dude, but very helpful. And we'll reconvene, here shortly.
For sure, man. Keep sending me pictures and stuff. Keep looking for patterns.
Will do. Thanks, dude.
All right, bro. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Girl.